here, Biodrac. Ugh.
Good morning, everybody. Who is this? This is Dr. J. Who are you, Arjun?
Yeah, that's me.
Well, who's that guy eating breakfast? Professor Spike? Dan A. commented to start the show that biotech is again Drek. Yeah, I agree. Biotech, if you look at the XBI, is off 30% peak to trough and dropping. And on the IBB, I think it was 177 high. Last I looked this morning was 157. That's a pretty significant drop right there, about 12.5%. A lot better than the XBI, but still. XBI, IBB, doesn't matter. We're getting slaughtered. Those people who own Moderna, like me, are getting it on the chin today. I'm getting it on a triple header with owning Pfizer, Moderna, and Novavax. I'm getting super slammed. And I don't own any Merck, which would have at least helped a little. But I do own AVIR, which
unfortunately none of us are Merck festers.
I believe AVIR is up today because that's the other antiviral play along with Roche. So maybe that's up.
Galley.
In any event, we have a request from somebody gave me a request to XBI.
Yeah, this is. I think he meant to type XBI here, not NBI.
Yeah, the bull trend is definitely broken, and biotech is now poison. All agreed. And the Democrats' bill to lower drug prices may not be helping things. Of course, they're never going to get anything through at this rate.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what will happen is Manchin will win, and the $3.5 trillion.
Right, and then he and Kristen Sinema are both going to be shown the door, and so it's like, oh, we want to save our jobs, but they're going to get fired anyway.
Final price tag on the Democrats.
What, the one they're not going to pass, or the one they are going to pass?
Well, they will pass something, but it won't be 3.5 trillion. It'll be about 1.5. What Manchin is saying.
What people should take out of this is, if you want a majority, you really need a real majority, not just a slim majority.
But in a way,
otherwise it's not a mandate.
In a way, it might not be a bad thing for the economy with inflation starting to heat up. Maybe 3.5 is just a wee bit too much.
Over 10 years? Come on, you drop it.
Look, I'm not an economist, but
you know how much global warming is going to cost us in the same 10 years?
It sounds like a lot of money.
Well,
of course.
When they move me to the gulag because of how much I hate Trump, we'll see how happy I am.
I'm not saying that anything about Trump. I'm just talking about the situation today.
If this thing doesn't work out, then Biden's not going to get reelected, nor is Kamala, and then we're just going to have.
Everything hinges on this bill passing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because they're going to say these people can't do anything, and everybody's already given up the fact that. But that during the midterms, we're going to lose seats. I don't want to forget about politics.
Look, everybody wants highways and bridges and.
Right, Chris.
Yeah, the infrastructure bill. Yeah.
Frustrating.
The infrastructure bill will pass, and that's going to help the economy too.
Well, Patrick is right. We don't need to get ourselves early on a nice Friday morning.
I agree.
Okay, so. Yeah, let's reinforce how we opened.
Different depressing news. Depressing news on business.
That is Drek again. I totally agree. With that. And what about inflation? The report today is got it at what, 4%? I think that was the economic news. 4% inflation. Which is not terrible, but it's certainly more than what the Fed is targeting. So we have this rising interest rate environment going forward. And also oil, price of oil, for whatever reason, seems to be heading towards $100 a barrel. And Bitcoin, last I looked, is flying. So what does all this mean?
Well, I'm glad I'm positioned in some energy stuff because I think that oil fact is going to loom large. Yeah, otherwise I would say save your cash.
The other thing that's going forward is going to be a drag on the economy, I think, on the GDP even, is autos, because new autos aren't selling because they can't keep up with supply.
Everything that gets produced. I actually went into an auto shop. I said, I can't find any new cars. The dealer said, neither can I. Just as soon as they get on the lot, there's a list of about 10 people who want them.
Yeah.
So that's, one would think that was good news, and it will be when the supply picks up. But yeah, now it's like, well, we could have sold X number of cars, but we only sold half X. Yeah. So is that good news or bad news? It's bad news on the bottom line, but it's good news on the business.
Yeah, well, in general, there's just a supply problem, right? Because like all the rental car agencies dumped their cars too during COVID, and I think it's just like it's this issue of there aren't enough cars for how many people want them.
How is Tesla going to sell all those cars they say they're going to sell?
Maybe they got cars on the lot, and because people will take so much over. Maybe they'll buy a Tesla now because Tesla's not.
Are they going to make their own chips? What are they? What's the story?
On that, has anybody been noticing whether or not the chip makers? I haven't seen the chip makers really make any kind of real profits or real big stock moves. Am I missing something?
NVIDIA.
I think Texas Instruments.
All right, NVIDIA. I'm looking at ATI. It hasn't really done anything. ADM has been moving, but not really drastically.
What about Texas Instruments? I think they're down. MU, I think, is down. They're all down, aren't they? Maybe
so then what's wrong with this picture? What am I missing?
I don't know. What about a stock like Dell Computer that they can't turn out enough computers either because...
Or maybe they're having the same problem as the cars. That's why I'm going directly to the chip makers.
Oh, you think that's the play?
Well, shouldn't they be the ones to once things turn around, shouldn't they be selling things like hotcakes?
I guess so.
I don't know.
Well, we should chart
I'll leave it to the audience to decide.
We should chart USO because that oil ETF has looked wonderful since the dip in COVID. It's just a perfect chart.
And I thought you could hide in it with the financials, but they're taking it on the chin today for some reason.
You mean like the banks and stuff?
I thought
the extension of our talk on Tuesday when we were talking about where to go for safe haven.
Yeah, I thought in the rising interest rate environment, I figured financials would be a good bet.
So I'm looking at what's green today. DraftKings is very green. And then all the you got PayPal and Square are holding up great. I think that those are very smart to hold long. Let's see what else is holding up.
When you have something that's green, it attracts money because nothing else is green. So people gravitate whatever is green. I'm going to buy some. I don't care what it is. Give me some of that. Okay.
Green.
Everything else on the board is red. I don't want the red. I want the green.
Yeah.
The investment zombies with green in their pockets going after green. Green on green.
Buy some New York Yankees stock. They're
not green. The Oakland A's, they're green.
Oakland A's
are they still green? Oakland A's?
Yeah, they're green. I was just looking too. Bio seems to be bouncing from these lows this morning too. It's almost even now. XBI. Maybe
is that because Merck? Is there like whatever Merck gets, everybody else loses, so overall it ends up even?
Oh, well, I mean, Albo's green too. I don't know. I don't think today. I think we should try to chart some stuff that looks, somewhat hopeful.
Some of these stock market sayings like buy them when they ain't and all of that stuff. It's all good, like be greedy when others are fearful. It's all good sayings. The trouble is how low is low and so on,
Yeah, that's true. You have to spot the right bottoms or else you're screwed. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that's in reference to.
Yeah.
So do we want to start with the XBI then, in terms of charting?
Andrew Chow asks a very good question. I'm trying to answer it in my own brain because I own a lot of Moderna and a certain amount of Novavax and a lot of Pfizer. So essentially, I have the same issue as Andrew.
We can chart them. We can chart them.
Yeah. The thing is, like anything else, it's an overreaction to the Merck news today. Having a Tamiflu type product does not stop people from taking the flu shot, does it?
No.
So having an antiviral to fight COVID shouldn't stop people from taking the COVID vaccine. That's how I look at it.
Right, but I guess there's a window of opportunity. You found out you have it. You're not really sick yet.
Well, no, it's a great thing. The Merck drug is a game changer. Having a drug when you show symptoms, this is already when you show symptoms, is super effective. You don't need to go into a hospital and get the Regeneron drip. You can just take a pill, and you're cutting your risk factor by 50%. So that's a big one.
Yeah.
And they stopped the trial early. I mean, they're going to give EUA. So this is a real thing. A lot of excitement. I would have thought that it would lift the entire biotech sector, but just the opposite. I don't get it. This is really, really good news. I think good news of any sort on the COVID front should be taken positively by the markets.
I jumped into Abbott today, thinking that maybe what you're saying is right.
Abbott is testing. Right?
Yeah,
it's testing well. It's at a bargain price now.
I think bio is going to finish green today. I think I'm bullish bio medium term.
Well, you mean short term? If you're looking at a quick turnaround for today.
For the day before things really.
Yeah, I think it's turning green today, and I still think there's going to be a lot of M&A coming up because bio is so cheap.
Well, yeah, it's been knocked down. So many things are trading near the lows. Athesis at the low of the year.
Yeah, we definitely should chart XBI because I want to see what you think on where a bottom might actually be.
Let's chart both of them, IBB and XBI.
Yeah, let's get to charting. We've been 15 minutes. I think the people are asking.
Chomping at the bit. Green. We want green.
Let's get some charts. I got as much time as we want today. I got nothing to do.
Goodness for Jiggy, he's on.
Yeah, I just have a golf round in about 6 hours. Otherwise, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I want to get out of here by noon.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to the races?
So I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you should.
I'm going to do something this afternoon. It's a nice day.
Just get away from
on any horse with green coloring.
Just got to get away from the computer.
It's certainly something outdoorsy today. Yes, everything is green on my screen. That's crazy. The S&P has turned green, up 12.
That's what I'm saying. Everything looks great. I don't know what we were talking about. It all looks great.
NASDAQ is flat and the Russell is up a little. So the indices are okay. It's just my portfolio that's not okay. Because IBB, XBI is not okay. And this man spooking the whole drug industry, the guy you see right here.
Yeah.
Bernie pushing for those lower drug prices, right? All right. I don't mind lower drug prices, but expedite the drug approval process so that companies don't have to spend 10 years getting a drug to market and millions and millions of dollars. So, you got to give a little to get a little. You know what I mean?
Reasonable.
All right. That's what I think anyway.
Um,
IBB and
Rigo Marco,
right?
just on what we were saying before, Rigo Marco asks whether or not Merck is going to have any impact on VBIV. What do you think?
Well, VBIV,
impact on everything.
I think it's going to have the news clearly had an impact on all vaccine makers today, but look, VBIV, it's not only a COVID play. I still think the Hep B therapeutic or glioblastoma partnership could happen. COVID's a bonus at this point.
Okay.
I like VBIV, the pipeline, but COVID's the home run. COVID's the home run. Yeah.
The IBB is down another 2.5%.
This is the wrong IBB. You did this the other day. Yeah.
Oh, how do I get a wrong IBB?
Because just type in IBB and then don't click it yet. Take a look.
Yeah.
No, don't click it yet. Go to show all results for IBB on the top right. Click the show all results button. You see it? Go to the top right, show all results. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Nice.
I don't understand. Somehow I got the right one. I don't know how.
Oh, can you take the comment off the screen? I forgot about that.
Yeah, you can leave it. I'm in the corner because I talked too much politics today.
I want the answer. BioNTech and all that. I'm thinking of at least selling some and reducing my positions and moving it into stuff that might be green, like DraftKings. I might do what everyone is doing. Look for the green. Look for greener pastures.
The union label.
All right.
Look for the union label.
Nothing
is manufactured in so
that's one of the problems. You have somebody turns the lights off in China and then everything goes nuts over here.
Oops. So maybe you found support at the 50 here. Look at that.
Well, yeah, it went below the 50 and bounced right back.
Look at that.
That would be nice. That would be very nice.
I see that as
really traded below.
The last time it did, it bounced really quick. Yeah, the last time it bounced quick also.
Oh, look, the last time was March 30th, 2020 that it traded below the 50 on the weekly. This is a weekly.
It was more like May. It was May.
Well, no, I mean that they're totally below the 50. But the whole candle is.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, let's see how long the tail is for this weekly. That would be telling. Because last time it went below the 50, the tail was really long.
No, the tail is very short.
No, I'm saying last time it was long. So let's see how this time goes.
Okay.
Just because, yeah, I mean, I don't see a reason. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Chart is showing some support here.
Yeah.
Around what? If you look at the other line.
We're down off the top. I think the top was 177, so we're down 20 points off the top. We're about about more than 10%, about 12%, something like that. All right, so there you have it. It hasn't come down to the lows that we saw in May. It could do that before it turns around. So if the 50 doesn't hold, that looks like the logical stopping point. And if that doesn't hold, biotech is really dreck, and we're all going to be crying in our soup.
Well, it'll add salt.
This is a super support level, 142.91.
Yep.
Which is right around what was that, 100?
That's the 100. That's the 100.
You don't want to see that, but it could happen. And that would bring us down to like what you said, the 100-day moving average.
Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic that we saw the bottom today.
That would be great. I certainly hope so. I mean, it's plausible, but then again, it's also plausible that we will trade between the 50 and the 100, retest that 141.25 level.
Sure.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is possible. But yeah, the 50 has been pretty much a perfect trend line for a year and a half now.
That would put us into bear market territory.
Yep.
If we get there. Which is possible. That would be a 22% from top to bottom, from peak to trough, something like that. 177 to 141. Can you do that percent for me, Spike?
147 to what? 121?
177 to 141.
That would be 36 over 177. Call that. That's almost 20%.
Yeah, about bear territory. Bear market territory.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that would be a logical stopping point if we haven't already stopped going down. In other words, I think if we break today's low, this is a weekly candle, but it still reflects today's low because we're at the low of the week. So if we break today's low of 155.08 sometime next week, it's ominous. I think we're going to retest the 141 level if that happens. And the XBI is already in bear market territory. Let's look at the XBI.
Yeah, while you do that, I was just noticing that the more general Russell isn't taking the same kind of hit. And if the hit is going to happen more generally, then your doom and gloom scenario might be more likely.
I mean, the biotech sector could be a leading indicator in this case.
So I don't mind this chart as much as other people. I think you have a very solid bottom at 118, and yeah, I don't know. I think bio is going to be fine in the next couple months.
Well, if you bought on February 8th of this year at 175, you might find the chart.
Oh, of course. I mean, yeah. Yeah, if you buy high, it sucks.
The chart would be.
Well, that was a really good month, though. That was the month Sava gave us.
175 to 125 is 50 points, which is 30% off the top. So even if we go down to the 100 back here, this double bottom at about what is this?
118.
About,
yeah.
So if we retest that 118 area, we're only 7 more points. It's easy to me that we're going to retest that. It certainly makes sense. Get another touch. We had 3 touches of that line, 118 level. Touch back here, 11.9, 2020. Yep. Another touch here on 5.3, 2021. Another touch here on 8/16. So we're showing weakness. If we didn't bottom today, we're definitely going to touch this line. And on the IBB, could be worse. So both of these charts show the kind of suffering we biotech players have been enduring over the last few months. Really, since the peak here at the beginning of the year. It's not been pleasant to be in biotech, unless you were in a few of the winners, like the Biogens, and there's been winners, but few and far between. All right.
Can we look at USO? I want to take a look at that oil index. It's had a great chart, so I just want to build some hope here about a sector that I think is good to be in right now.
Yeah,
oil specifically, and not just energy in general.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to highlight this chart in particular because since the big flash crash when COVID started, it's just been going up and up and up perfectly.
Since 11/2, it was at its low, and it's been on a constant rise. You're right. It's a very nice chart.
Yeah. So I do think, pick your oil plays or just play this fund. I mean, whatever you think is the best way to play it. I'm playing USEG, but you can definitely play this fund.
So we were at 10/26, October 26th, almost a year ago, we were at 24.75. So it's double, a little bit more than double.
Yeah.
In 11 months. I'll take that.
I think it still has room to go up because if you look at the levels pre-COVID, I think it was in the hundreds. So I do think that it's just been slowly creeping up back to old levels.
It definitely has a nice chart. And this is a weekly.
Yeah.
And we're putting in a doji this week. They're taking a little breather. I think we made a new high. Yeah, old high was 51.28. So we made a new high. Closed last week at 51.82, rather. 51.82. So we keep making new highs. No reason to think it won't make another new high next week. So this might be one sector to hide in. Definitely. Yeah. US, big oil, little oil, whatever oil you want to own, or just USO.
Yep.
All good. What is Chevron's symbol? CHV?
I thought it was like CVX or something. I don't remember. It's something weird. Is it? Wait, I forget. Yeah, there we go. CVX. Yeah.
After
all the mergers, you couldn't find the name.
Not a good picture.
Well, it's got a good bump today.
And also, it has a huge engulfing candle last week.
Yeah. Looks like that.
Chevron looks interesting.
The 50 is looking like very nice support, potentially. Creeping up.
I like this big engulfing candle. Huge candle at the end of a downturn. So I think this is definitely another company that you could look for that pays something and dividend, and looks like some growth potential here. Back to the 110 level. or beyond. So it could certainly make new highs above 112. So you can get 12% plus whatever yield there is in a very shaky market. Why not? And how did it do since the beginning of the year? Let's take a look. Let's look at this bottom, 1026, 2020. That's the same as the USO bottom. This was $6. It almost did as well as USO, not quite. Not quite. Double would be 130. It never hit 130. So it's not quite as good. You want to look at a stock like JP Morgan? You represent the banks.
Well, if we're thinking the financials might have some sort of life to pump out of them.
Yeah. JP Morgan has had a similar candle to Chevron, even though it's a bank. Big green candle last week, engulfing the week before, and
on the weekly still?
a pop. Yeah, and a pop this week, looking good at the highs of the year, right? 167.44, right at the highs of the year. Well, it's still.
I look at a gambling stock like I don't want to do DraftKings because DraftKings had that buy in the middle of it. But is there another gambling EVRI?
How about RSI?
Which one is that?
Rush Street.
Oh, okay.
This really had a slide down, and now it's bouncing.
Right, but we're talking about whether or not this is red meat for going forward.
Yeah, 725. It put in a low at about $9 or something like that, below in the nines. And we traded last week at a high of 2045. So it more than doubled. And gambling stocks are on moves, no doubt about it. So this might be another area to put money into. This particular one has a ways to go to take out its all-time high of 27. 20.
What was that? That was Super Bowl again. Last year's Super Bowl.
117. Yeah.
Huh.
No, the Super Bowl was in February.
All right. Well,
close.
Does FanDuel have a symbol?
Are they public?
I don't know if they're public. No idea.
I don't know. I'm not familiar. I don't think they're public. Or maybe they're owned by somebody. I don't even know.
Yeah, no, they're not. They don't have a.
Not familiar. How about a stock like AMD, a chip maker that
chip maker, yeah. AMD or ADI.
Had tremendous MOMO and has fallen back a little bit due to the supply chain problems.
Again, this is what's confusing me. Why isn't this stock taking off on the shortage?
Well, maybe it's just pulling back with the rest of the market. I don't know. They're direct competitors with NVIDIA, right?
NVIDIA and Intel as well. I mean, the whole thing about Intel is they're actually making some really big investments, and Intel itself is moderate.
I like the fact that it's stopping in the middle of this big green candle. This might be a good one to hide in, because if you think that the market is going to be weak, I think some of these chip makers might be a place to hide.
Especially if they give dividends.
There's tremendous support. Look at this. The old resistance at 99.23 is now support. I like it because it's very close to support. So I like AMD. I like it a lot. The chart looks good. Company is, I've been in this company 10 times and every time make money in the short term. I should have held it for the long term, but I didn't.
Do you guys know whether or not they have many facilities in America versus other countries? Because Intel, on 60 Minutes, Intel claimed that they were one of the only companies that was really doing a lot of production in the United States.
Yeah, I was going to say I doubt it that they do much in the U.S. I doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, if supply chain becomes an issue, then there's just going to be a bunch of chips sitting at some dock somewhere.
How about MU?
Oh, Micron, right.
I think they took it on the chin.
Yeah.
$71 stock now. What was it? It was over 90.
Wow.
It was 96, 97 back in April. So this is a nice 30, almost 30% hit that it took. Maybe this is one, once the supply issues are diminished, this might be one to rebound. This would be a rebound play, you know.
Yeah.
The support looks pretty strong right in here. Very strong support. Right in the 68.81, $69 level. We're very close to strong support. So I like stocks like that, MU, AMD. They look playable.
What about Intel? You want to, since we're doing it, do you want to run the trifecta on this?
I have a feeling it'll be a similar chart. Let's see. Very similar looking. Off the highs of $69. You know, from peak to trough, it hasn't slid as much as MU, but similar looking chart. We're down about 20%. MU is down about 30%, right? The 200 is acting as perfect support. So just like MU, just like AMD, Intel is at support. So at least you have some hope that the body in motion will meet an opposing force and stop going down. What is Newton's law?
Mr. Reversion to the mean.
A body in motion stays in motion, right?
Yep.
But if there's an opposing force like friction,
right.
it slows it down a bit, doesn't it? Well, I think it's the friction.
I rely on that when I'm playing racquetball.
The friction is right here at the 200. So I think we found a couple of sectors: energy and maybe chips. Believe it or not. How about retail? How about retail? How about
go Walmart?
Yeah,
Walmart's been annoying the hell out of me. We've been thinking that with their technology, they should be the next Amazon, and they're not.
But I'm thinking maybe we could hide in a Walmart if the market collapses. You know, pays a dividend. Let's see. We're really below trend, though. I don't like that aspect of it. The trend line is very clear, right? On the weekly, and we're now trading below that trend line. So we're looking at the 100 at 133. We're looking at 133 for support, and the bottom of this candle, which is, I can't see it, 120. It blinks off. 126, yeah, 126.28. So I mean, you know, it may show some weakness with the rest of the market, but I don't think it'll get killed as much as some of the tech names, that high-flying tech names. So if we have continued weakness in the market, Walmart may not be totally safe, but probably safer than a lot of other places. What are other retail names? BBBY got killed, right?
Oh yeah, there was some. I heard something about this one today.
Yeah. BBBY.
Again, this is probably supply chain stuff.
The question is, why does the BBBY get killed?
Right.
Loyal customer base. Why does a stock like BBBY get killed? Obviously, they're not doing well. That's the answer. Why? People still ordering over the internet more than going in? I don't know. The consumer is still strong. Do you think it's a drop
You're right.
off?
It's a little confusing.
Do you think it's a drop off in stimulus spending? Stimulus.
Well, people aren't buying stuff for their houses if they're getting thrown out of them, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing. Maybe.
I don't know. This one doesn't make any sense to me. I have no idea.
Ugly looking candle, but
the 200.
Yes. Notice how strong. Notice how strong the 200 has been.
Again with the 200.
It's been very strong. So if you're looking for a stock that might have taken a big hit and may have bottomed, may come back to that $40 level, or it may come back to that $30 level, hopefully. I mean, clearly there was bad news, but if you're looking for a turnaround play, maybe this is one. BBBY. Give me another retailer that we could look at. Nike.
Nike's gonna be mixed up with all the. Does Costco have a?
COS3? All right,
yeah. COS. Costco's pretty recession proof.
Wonderful stock to be in.
Yeah.
There's so many years.
I was just there yesterday.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful stock. But this is an ugly weekly candle, and we have yet to come off the top in a meaningful way. So I don't know. I'd rather go for one of those like a BBBY that looks like maybe it has some rebound potential. This one has been a story of slow growth, but steady slow growth. Nothing wrong with owning it.
There might not be much left in the tank.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. What about a Dollar General, catering to the lower priced consumer? I haven't looked at that chart in ages. We're looking at retail instead of bio because bio is so red I get nauseous. This is not too green either.
No. I mean, maybe there's an issue that with the low end, but then that would have been reflected in Costco.
Well, with the stimulus checks drying up, maybe the consumer will return to the low end stores as money tightens. I mean, this is a defense.
The Walmart consumer is going to move over to Costco.
No, the Walmart is in a similar class to DG, right?
Right. There was the more upscale ones like Lululemon, which might paint some picture.
It is clearly below trend, and it's looking to find support at the 50 on the weekly. You could play this one. I think it's playable. Again, it might be better to be in this kind of a stock than even an Apple.
Because the bleeding's already done.
Yeah. The FANG stocks had moved up so sharply in the real downturn are going to get hurt. Amazon already got hurt significantly. Let's take a look at Amazon. And I look at that because it's a retailer as well as everything else that it is.
Right.
And I'm not distinguishing too much between brick and mortar and e-tailers. Okay, so Amazon came off its high up here at 37.50, and we're trading at 32.77. Wow, that's like a 500-point move down. That's what is that, about 14%, something like that, 13%.
Yeah.
Significant move down. It's gonna be tough to pass the 50, which it's sitting at. Looks like an ideal buy now. I would buy it now, even though the market threatens to collapse on me, because the chart is telling me we're at support. And even if it breaks the 50 a little bit, it looks like we have support at 31.75. So, you know what I mean? Now, we didn't answer the question about Moderna, for example, is it a sell? And we'll wind up the
Right,
show
there's all that,
trying.
all the chatter about what to do with the vaccine makers we already own, like Novavax and
Yeah,
Moderna.
I mean, you know, down $44.
I'm always one to hold on, but that's my problem. That shouldn't be your problem.
11%. You hold on for dear life, right?
You know, it's money I'm not spending tomorrow anyway.
Moderna. Moderna is a wonderful company. They're long term, they're going to go higher. But the question is, how bad a pullback are we in for? And this has been a huge candle that destroyed my portfolio single-handedly this week. The range of this candle has just been from 434 to 323. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Jeez.
Crazy. And we got a little bounce back to support. It actually broke support. I like when it springs back, or when it breaks support and springs back. I like that. So that part is good. And this happened today. I'm not on the daily, but the lows happened today. So the spring back also happened today. I'd like to see it spring back a little bit more, close above the 349 low from a few weeks ago. I don't know if that's going to happen. Will they make 8 more points? I don't know. Hard to say. But it is well off the bottom. Is it a hold, buy, or sell? That's the question. I think with a total break of this support line, if it looks like it's breaking this support line, then you're looking at the next support level right in here. You're looking at the next support right at this low, right in here.
Yeah.
Right about
318.
Yeah, right about 318. It almost hit that today.
Yeah.
So we're basically at a support level. If it takes that out, I guess we could be looking all the way down to the 50, and that's like that would be a disaster.
Yeah. Big gap.
There's plenty of room for the air to be let out of the bloom all the way down to 207. I can't guarantee that that's not going to happen, but it doesn't appear to me like it will happen. I think that, to me, we're very close to bottom, and we might as well, if you haven't sold yet, hold at this point. I intend to hold. I'm going to do a Professor Spike and not sell. And probably not add, though, although I'm tempted to. And the other one, Novavax. Let's take a quick look. Fundamentals on Moderna are just sensational.
Aren't they likely to get full on approval eventually?
Sure.
So I mean, that's going to be good news. That'll give them a pop.
Novavax did the same thing. It's trying to bounce back above the 50 on the weekly. Just the same exact thing that Moderna did. So I took a quick look. There you go. The low was incredibly low for the week. It was 154. I think today. Look at that already. So I like the way it's bouncing back. I'm definitely not selling this one. I think we have found support at the 50. I think it'll close above this, above the 50 today. The 50 being at 181, 189 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think we close above it. And I think Novavax is just like Moderna, a hold. That's my feeling. So
No, I think you're right.
So all scenarios possible. The most optimistic scenario is we've had our 5% correction, and John said maybe this is it on the IBB and then the XBI. The optimistic point of view is Monday will be an up day, and we're going to look forward to greener pastures. But I don't think that's the case. I think we go all the way down, possibly to 4,000. That's S&P, which would make about a 12% correction. What's your feeling, Professor Spike? Any predictions?
I was saying before, because it hasn't been felt by IWM, I think we're in for a little bit more of a downside.
Yeah. So Arjun is the most optimistic of the three of us.
Yeah, I would think so. Especially bio. I think we're seeing the bottom. And but hey, I would say find your favorite oil related plays and get in because it's going up, in my opinion.
Right. I just put a couple chips, not a lot. So.
Oil, maybe if you want to, maybe a Costco, maybe a Walmart, retail, maybe BBBY. And
Professor Omar sees a rebound, so he's actually even more optimistic than Arjun.
No, I mean, I tend to agree with
optimism. I'm a little
pessimistic. Omar and I have always been on other sides of these things.
I think the 4,000 number is quite possible. If it happens, it's going to happen quick, like next week. So if we don't see a collapse next week, I think we're out of the woods for the rest of the year. This has been Dr. J, Professor Spike, and reminding you that our opinions are strictly our own and do not constitute investment advice. Do your own due diligence, check with an investment advisor before acting. And please subscribe so you don't miss one of our tremendously brilliant shows. We have Dan A. and Patrick Tang and Big Tex and so many other astute investors on the chat. So come join our chat. Try to join us live and in person. Of course, you join us replay. Adios, amigo. Wonderful weekend. Looks like a nice weekend. Ciao.
All right.
Bye all.
Till next time. See ya.
Bye. from my mouse. Goodbye, y'all.